What's up, guys? We're back again with NFC East predictions, starting off with the Dallas Cowboys. And I know I didn't post a video Sunday. I was busy hanging out with some friends. But the rest of the week, there will for sure be more videos up, as this week we'll probably be finishing up the predictions. So, week one, we have the Buccaneers beating the Cowboys. Buccaneers just got off a Super Bowl run. I think they're just way better than the Cowboys. Week two against the Chargers. I think the Cowboys could be a better team this year than the Chargers, especially with Prescott healthy. So this could kind of be, it's either going to happen or it's kind of going to be an upset, just depending on how the Cowboys are this season. We'll see, of course. I have the Cowboys beating the Eagles at home, the Panthers at home, the Giants at home, and then on the road losing to the Patriots. This one's kind of an upset. But I think the Patriots have it. I kind of like the Patriots. I think they're going to be better than they were last year, but still not a very good team like people think they. I don't think they're going to just magically get a great quarterback in a rookie quarterback, Mac Jones, and Cam Newton, which I don't think Mac Jones will be very good. And I think Cam Newton will start at the beginning of the year anyway, and I don't think highly of Cam Newton. But right now, I think they'll be able to beat the Cowboys going into the bye week for the Cowboys, and then starting off in week 8, they'll lose to the Vikings. The Vikings are definitely a better football team than the Cowboys, in my opinion. Just a little better, but better enough to where they would win that game. I have the Broncos winning that game as kind of an upset, but kind of not. Broncos are definitely a worse football team, but I'm winning there. Then I have the Falcons beating the Cowboys. Chiefs is really a no-brainer pick. Raiders are just a better football team in my opinion. The Cowboys, I think, will beat the Saints. I think the Saints are gonna fall off a cliff of what they are usually during the regular season. And then at home, the football team will beat the Cowboys. On the road, the Cowboys will beat the Giants. And then at home, the Cowboys will beat the football team. Cowboys will lose to the Cardinals at home and then beat the Eagles on the road to finish with a 7-10 record. 5-1 in the division, only losing to the football team once. 7-5 against NFC teams. 4-4 at home, 3-6 away. Can't beat a winning football team, but is 7-7 against losing football teams. They of course finished first in the division. Like I said, I think the NFC East is still gonna suck this year, but I think with a healthy Dak Prescott, the Cowboys are gonna win it. The Cowboys are just a more talented football team than every other team, except for maybe the Giants. The Giants could have more talent. Not that it's better talent, but more talent other than Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is what's going to set the Giants back. And then we're going to go the second team in the division, the Washington football team. They're 7. Week 1, the football team will lose to the Chargers. I don't know. I just think that's what's going to happen. The football team will win at home against the Giants, lose to the Bills, beat the Falcons on the road, beat the Saints, and then they'll stay home and lose to the Chiefs. Chiefs are just a great football team. Then they'll lose to the Packers in Green Bay. Green Bay's, of course, a better football team. I think they have a chance at winning this one, let alone with the next game, the Broncos. But I don't see it happening, really. Then they'll go to the bye week in Week 9, come off Week 10, and get an upset against the Buccaneers. They played great in the playoffs against the Buccaneers, so that's why I had the upset going to the football team right there. And there's got to be some sort of upsets. There's never going to be like a perfect Buccaneers should easily beat this team, so they're definitely not going to lose to that team. There's going to be upsets. So that's one of the upsets that I have for this. And then in Week 11, we have the football team beating the Panthers in Carolina. I think the football team defense will be able to completely shut down that offense, making it absolute hell for Sam Darnold back there in the pocket, which I am not very high on Sam Darnold. And I think going to Carolina really won't help him much. He's still going to be the same quarterback, just with better weapons that might make him look a little better than he actually is. Week 12, I have them losing to the Seahawks. They lost to the Seahawks last year. I think they're just going to lose to them again. I think the Seahawks are a better football team. But yeah, then they'll lose to the Raiders in Los Angeles. I don't know. I just have that. It could go either way. And then at home, I have the football team beating the Cowboys. Yeah, they have a lot of divisional games down the stretch. I think this is most of their divisional games. Yeah, they literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They literally only one divisional game before week 13 to 18. So, we have the football team beating the Cowboys. Football team beating Cowboys. Then we have the Eagles beating the football team at home. And we have the Cowboys beating the football team in Dallas, and it was in Philadelphia, not at the Washington football team's home. And then we have the football team splitting the series with the Eagles, and then splitting the series with the Giants. They split the series with every single team. So how they end off? They end off with a 7-10 record, the same record as the Cowboys record, but they're 3-3 in the division instead of 5-1 like Dallas was. 7-5 conference games, 5-3 home, 2-7 away, 1-7 versus winning, 6-5 versus losing, 1-5 versus winning. I mean 6-5 versus losing. Sorry about that. Yeah. Overall thinking of this team is they're gonna kind of be like the last year's team, where they're gonna be able to win games that you don't think they will, with not a very good offense, but they're not gonna do much with these games winning. I think if they are able to upset a few games and actually be able to push themselves into the playoffs, they won't do much in the playoffs. They will lose in the wild card like they did last year. I just don't think enough changed to where they're going to really change that much from last year. If anything, I think they'll get worse, because usually when you have a really good defense, it's hard to keep the defense at such a high level for multiple seasons. As you saw with probably the Bears, where they were still really good, but they weren't as good as they were the year before, which that could possibly happen. Or it could be the opposite and they actually get better. But we'll see, of course. Going into the third team in the division, the New York Giants. Week 1, we have them beating the Broncos. I think they're better than the Broncos. Not by a whole lot. I think they're both talented rosters with just bad quarterbacks. So, by the way, guys, this is because I know I've probably shown you the Broncos losing a whole bunch of games so far, or winning a couple. This is without Aaron Rodgers, so when we get to the Broncos, well, not without Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. This is before the Aaron Rodgers trade, so any teams that you guys might think Aaron Rodgers might get traded to, if he does get traded to, that is not going to be in this. This is if the team was right now. That's why I think I might do one during the preseason, just to see if anything really changes. Especially if Rodgers does get traded, I will 100% do a new one, because that will completely change the dynamic of most games and most team records and stuff. But we'll see if that happens. Week 2, I am losing to the football team, divisional opponent on the road. What do you really expect? Then they go to week 3 at home, beat the Falcons, lose to the Saints, lose to the Cowboys, lose to the Rams. All of those are games that it's really a no-brainer that they could lose. I mean, they could probably win most of them except for the Rams game, I think. Rams are just a way better football team. Then in week 7, we have the Giants beating the Panthers. Then they lose to the Chiefs and Raiders going into the bye week. And then they upset the Buccaneers here in week 11. They almost did it last year, so I think they'll be able to do it again with a better roster than they have last year. And yeah, Buccaneers are just a better football team though. Then we have in week 12 they beat the Giants. They beat the Eagles. What am I saying? They beat the Dolphins, lose to the Chargers, lose to the Cowboys, lose to the Eagles, lose to the Bears, and they beat the football team to end the season, to split the season with the football team. They finish it off with a 7-10 record, that's a 3-way tie and it really is just divisional matchups that will settle the NFC East. I feel like the divisional record, which they have a 2-4, so that's why they are third. Yeah, 5-7 conference record, 5-3 at home, 2-7 away, 2-3 versus winning, and 5-7 versus losing. All in all, I think they they if they I think if they do end up having a terrible record this year though, like worse than 7-10, it will be good because I think they need to draft a quarterback. They need a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. I just don't think he's going to develop, and I think that's what they need right now to make a playoff run. And I guess if Daniel Jones does develop and he isn't as bad as I think he is, this Giants team will definitely win the NFC East this year. But I don't think Daniel Jones is a very good quarterback. And of course, if he develops in future years, I think they're going to be a decent team, definitely a playoff team. But I just don't think current Daniel Jones will be able to do really anything. Now we're with the fourth team in the division, the Philadelphia Eagles. They come in week 1 beating the Falcons. Week 2 loses to the Niners. Niners are a better football team, and they lose on the road against the Cowboys. It's their divisional opponent. Plus, I just think the Cowboys are a way better football team. I think Jalen Hurts is really going to struggle this year, by the way. Then they'll lose to the Chiefs, the Panthers, the Buccaneers, the Raiders. A huge, a 6-game losing streak between week 2 and week 7 before getting another win. And they really start to pick up their wins towards the end of the year here. Middle to end. And in week 8, they beat the Lions. They lose to the Chargers. They beat the Broncos. Sorry for the voice crack. They beat the Saints, lose to the Giants and Jets, both in New York. So they will stay at the same field for 2 straight games and lose both of them. That is kind of impressive. Then they'll go back. They'll go to the bye week 14, and they'll go on a 2-game win streak, beating the football team and the Giants, and they'll go on the road and lose to the football team, and then go back home and lose to the Cowboys, ending off the season with a 6-11 record, 2-4 divisional record, 5-7 conference, 3-5 home, 3-6 away, 0-4 versus winning, 6-7 versus losing. The Philadelphia Eagles, in my opinion, are an all-around worse team than any other team in the division. I think talent-wise, they're the worst team in the division. Coaching-wise, they're the worst team in the division. There's just really nothing to like about this Eagles team. I mean, I guess you have Jalen Hurts, where he could develop into a pretty good quarterback. They have Jalen Waddle, so that might help. But I don't think it's going to be enough to have a better season. I don't like this team at all, really. I really don't see them being a good team. I just honestly I think they might actually do worse. I think I was pretty generous. I think there's a lot of wins that they got that they'll probably lose, or that I think they could easily lose. Like the Falcons game. I think the Falcons could easily win that. The Broncos could win that game. I think most of their wins really are easily winnable by the other teams. They could easily go 0-16, but that's not like a good prediction, because that's more biased than anything. So that's why I don't have it there. I have it 6-11. I'm just really disappointed in this team, and they need multiple rebuilding years to build this team back up. And shoot, maybe even by next year, they will surprise me, and my predictions will be better next year. But 6-11 will be my predictions for this year. So that is it for the NFC East predictions. This is the last video for NFC. We'll be moving on to AFC next week. Hope you guys enjoyed. Or not next week, just the next videos. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like this video if you enjoyed. Let me down in the comment sections. What do you disagree with? Yeah. So we'll see you guys next time.